everybody, it's Natasha Bailey from Soul Mission here. I'm super excited to just share some thoughts I have about the situation that we all find ourselves in. And if you wouldn't mind giving this video a like button if it resonates with you, or leave a comment as to your thoughts on this situation, I would greatly appreciate that. So here's a spiritual explanation as to why your immune system is being compromised at this moment in time. And I'm going to approach this from a slightly different angle. So I want to talk about the thymus gland. The thymus gland sits in the upper part of your chest area, and it grows and grows in its capacity until we're about 10 years old as children. And it keeps growing and growing because it's building up its capacity to regulate your immune system. Yeah. And generally after, 10 years of age, that gland starts to shrink a bit. Yeah. However, what can happen is, as we are developing as human beings and our health improves, our mind improves, and also our awareness grows, what can happen is, as we expand, our body's capacity to be even healthier expands as well. And in spiritual terms, we often talk about when the thymus gland is being reactivated later in life, and it seems that the situation that we find ourselves is giving us an opportunity to examine our immune health. For me, it brings up an interesting, question and idea that I've noticed from a spiritual perspective. So the thymus gland is the physical representation of a part of your spiritual development that has started to become activated, started to open up, relating to the energy vortex center, the 8th chakra. And what is this energy point all about? Several things. First of all, yes, it's about immunity and increasing your immunity. But secondly, it's also sparking up your connection to your higher self. Your higher self that sees the bigger picture, knows what the purpose of your existence here on this planet is, but it's also sparking up the Christ consciousness. And what was that message, that consciousness, that level of awareness? That we are all connected, that we are all one on this planet, all brothers and sisters together. So here is an interesting scenario where, where this situation is sparking up our immune system to kind of expand even more, yeah, and also activating our higher heart area, our higher heart consciousness, that we are all one. Now, why might this be a problem for some groups on this planet? Well, if we all come together as one and we realize we're all brothers and sisters together, would there really be any need for us or desire to fight each other, to have wars with one another, to compete with one another? No. And together with that sparking of that 8th chakra, that higher heart, which sparks your thymus gland, would be the realization that that we have much greater compassion towards each other. Compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. So that means there's no need for any resentments to continue. There's no need to hold bad feeling toward one another. And that undermines a very dysfunctional system that we're working in, where it relies on us to consume stuff in order to fulfill our need in some way of us not being good enough or feeling victimized. So this whole system of buying and consuming things to fulfill a lack or a scarcity within us, it's all, necessitated on us staying victimized, feeling less than or hard done by. But if we start to activate that higher level of consciousness within us, of compassion, understanding, love towards all fellow human beings, then that need to consume falls away. So what I'm saying is, it threatens a lot of the money-making systems that are running on this planet. So what can you do? You can create a problem, yes. You can create a bug and say, this is a big problem. Even though tiny, tiny proportion of people are dying, same proportion as those who die every year from common cold, common flu. And then you can swan in like a knight in shining armor and say, I have the solution here. Take this shot and it will protect you. But the problem is, when we start taking shots to help with our immune system, it has a knock-on effect on the immune system. Especially with drugs that haven't been clinically tested out long-term, and we don't know what the long-term effects are. It messes with your body's natural ability to regulate your immune system. And I mean natural. We are bombarded by bugs every day, and our bodies are able to, handle it. And how do we handle it? By allowing the bug in, and then the body, deals with it. It responds to it. It fights it off. And in that way, we build a resistance towards it or any other versions of the bug in the future. And that is what the immune system is about. So what I'm saying here in this video is, what need really is there to help your immune system fight something that it's naturally designed to fight anyway? And that actually, by allowing your body to do its job properly of fighting it, you are building up your immune system. So the question is, why would anybody want to give you a shot, that would potentially damage your body's ability to harness its immune system? Well, and this is just a speculation, of course, it's up to you, you can make up your own mind. But it's one way to suppress that opening and expansion to a love, compassion, and togetherness with our fellow brothers and sisters. Because what would we discover when we all see that we are together? We would see the dysfunctionality in the world. the wars, the consumerism, the environmental damage. And we would say, well, this is madness. We must stop this. But of course, behind a lot of those industries is a massive money-making machine. And it doesn't want to continue to stop making money. So in many ways, it's preventing that moment where its supply is going to be cut off. What better way? Suppress people's spiritual awareness, immune system, to avoid people seeing the truth of what is going on around. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I welcome your thoughts about this, and I'm wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care for now.